What's up YouTube? This is Manga Man 8 coming at you another brand new video. Alright guys, it's finally here after months upon months, possibly even years. I think we've known about this movie since 2014. It's been 2 years. We finally getting it on the big screen, Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. Now, without further ado, I will say, full spoilers. So, spoiler, if you guys have not seen the movie yet, I highly suggest you go see it first and then come back to this video. So without further ado, let's get started. For me personally, I've had mixed feelings about this movie. Sitting in the theater, I kind of don't know how I feel about it as the movie's progressing. It definitely has a good pacing, so to speak, but not really. It starts out as like you feel like everything is flowing smoothly, but as the movie progresses, you learn that it really doesn't flow as smoothly as you want it to. Some of the pros and the cons. Pros: the action was fantastic. Wasn't really a fan of Zack Snyder's action sequences and Man of Steel. And if you've seen that movie, it's pretty much the same in this movie. He's just very particular about the way his action sequences are. They're very fast-paced, very powerful. You don't really get to see exactly what's going on unless it's somebody like Batman's fighting, where the action is more slowed down a little bit. Wonder Woman, Superman, Doomsday. Those that every time they're on screen fighting, it's very fast-paced, very powerful. It's very like theater shocking almost. The speakers are vibrating. What have you. Character development was very good. I have to say, in particular, Jeremy Irons as Alfred, fantastic casting choice. He might actually be my favorite Alfred to date as far as live action goes. I was really pulling for Ben Affleck as Batman. I was totally behind that. Really kind of disappointed me, but we'll get that, when I get to the cons section. Character development, like I said, fantastic character development. Good setup for this cinematic universe. That's the other thing I wanted to mention. The setup in this universe is very well done. They have a good idea of establishing what kind of tone they want this universe to take. Dawn of Justice was pretty dark. So was Man of Steel. Versus the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Every single movie or installment in that universe had pretty much the same tone. It's not like Amazing Spider-Man where the first one was dark and then the sequel was wishy-washy. Some scenes were dark, some scenes were, funny, goofy, laughing, playing, all that good jazz. Um, Story. The story was pretty well done. I'm pretty pleased with it. People who are fans of these characters and of the DC Comics can go into this movie no problem. Even people who aren't familiar with Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, you walk into this movie, you get a pretty general idea of who these characters are, what their backstories are, etc., etc. Now for the cons. Here we go. First of all, the pacing. Oh my god. I'm just sitting in the theater and the pacing is so bad. They just drag it out. This is one of those classic takes where you don't judge a book by its cover. A lot of times the problem with these superhero movies is we get the trailers leaked on the internet. You see, they're releasing like 4 or 5 trailers, and each trailer they're showing you all the action scenes, and they're not showing you like scenes throughout the movie. Most trailers, what they do is they throw all the action scenes, and they jumble it up so it's out of order, so you don't know what kind of movie this is gonna be. I had no idea this movie is gonna drag out so slowly, and it has a very slow build up. Also, like I think a good hour and a half before actually something exciting happens. I'm sitting there, just antsing. You've seen the 3, 4, 5 trailers that they've released. You're waiting for that action scene, and the pacing just drags on out. You know, you've seen these trailers, you know the action scenes are coming, but they take so damn long to get there, and it's just, come on, you know, you're exhausted by the time you get to the action scenes. Um, for me, it definitely reminded me of the Fantastic Four movie from 2015. It was a lot of exposition and a lot of setup that they were doing, and it really made the movie drag out way too much than it needed to be, you know. And you can expect this sort of thing from an origin movie, but you know, Man of Steel, we already got Superman's origin story. We didn't need his origin story. Batman's origin story, you know, what they did was great, but they didn't have to drag it on out. You know, they could have jumped into action scenes, you know. But anyway, like I said, you can expect this sort of thing from an origin movie, not so much for a sequel. You know, if what they say is true, that they wanted this movie to be a sequel to Man of Steel, it did not feel like a sequel. It felt like another origin, you know, movie. The action was great, but just the pacing and build up to the action just dragged on way too much. The next thing I wanted to mention is Lex Luthor. Jesse Eisenberg, you know, maybe it's just me personally, but I freaking hated him as Lex Luthor. You know, to me, Lex Luthor is, you know, a businessman. He's very, you know, crime boss, like, as you can see from, you know, the Justice League animated TV show, some of the animated films. He was definitely like that in Superman Returns, as well as the Superman movie from the 70s. You know, he's very like businessy, and Jesse Eisenberg is he's kind of got that mad scientist sort of feel. You know, he's very hip and energetic, and you know, quick with the one-liners and stuff like that. And he kind of reminded me of the Riddler from the Gotham TV show, so to speak, because he's got that twisted mentalness about him. But he does not. When I see Lex Luthor, I do not picture Jesse Eisenberg. Um, you know, some better choices that I could think of off the top of my head, probably like Bryan Cranston would make a good Lex Luthor. Um, William Dafoe would make a pretty decent Lex Luthor, you know, things like that. But moving on, the next is Batman. You know, when I first heard about the casting, I'm like, okay, Ben Affleck is Batman, sure, I can get totally behind this. He was such a disappointment to me. To me personally, I don't know about any of you guys fans. You have your own personal opinions on who your favorite Batman is or isn't. But for me, Ben Affleck, you know, somebody who I thought was gonna really kick ass as Batman, and he does to an extent, but he really disappointed and really did not live up to the expectation I wanted him to. First of all, let me just say Batman does not freaking kill. He kills like 14, 20 people in this movie, and almost every single fight scene you see him in, he's got a damn gun in his hand, and it's Batmobile's got machine guns, missile launchers on it, Batplane's got missile launchers. Every fight scene he's in, he's got some sort of grenade launcher or machine gun or hand pistol or shotgun, whatever. You know, and Batman just does not kill. He didn't really do any Batmanish things that I would like that we know Batman's capable of. Like he kind of fell below on the detective side of Batman. Was great as Bruce Wayne. Was great as fist to fist combat Batman. But as far as being a detective and just being stealthy and doing things that we expect Batman to do, he kind of fell a little bit short on that part. But you know, it is what it is. The movie's made. It's out in the theaters right now. Go check it out. So just a quick wrap up. You know, pros: great action, great setup, great story, character development, really well done. Cons: pacing, the portrayal of Lex Luthor and the portrayal of Batman. I will admit before I finish out very quick that this is probably the best version of Wonder Woman we have ever seen as far as live action goes. So kudos to her. And if you like this video, please remember to like and comment in the comment section below. A link to the trailer will be in the description. And as always, you guys, if go out and see this movie. I really recommend it. Just so you get a feel of what it is. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. This movie, I'd probably give it a 7.5 out of 10. There just really was a lot that I did not like, and it really rubbed me the wrong way, and I really had mixed feelings. So I'm sorry that it got such a low score, but 7.5 is a pretty decent score. But for me personally, it didn't live up to the expectations that I wanted it to, and it just I'm done talking about this movie. All right, you guys, do what you want. It's your life. If you want to go see this movie, have at it. This is just my opinion. So, like always, you guys, please remember to like, subscribe, all that good jazz. So, until next time, this is Manga Man 8. Got it memorized.
There is a wild fire inside you, burning desire you can't extinguish.